What's up, everyone? Bringing you another physical media video today. I got some pickups that I ended up getting from VESTRON. I received 3 Blu-rays for them, so today we're going to go over what I picked up, my feelings on the film, and talk about them and all this kind of stuff. So if you're a physical media fan and you like collecting Blu-rays and 4Ks, but you also like some movie reviews and horror content, then like and subscribe to the channel. I got a lot of other stuff, so let's get into this video. Roll it. So today I wanted to go over a few titles that I picked up from VESTRON, and these are actually going to be the first ones I've ever gotten. I've never gotten any titles from VESTRON, but I love all 3 of these films, and I'm happy to have them in my physical media collection. So let's start this off with one of my favorite zombie films of all time, and that's going to be Return of the Living Dead. This is part 3, and man, Melinda Clarke on here, probably one of the best zombie outfits and designs ever, and this poster is pretty iconic. And this is just a great film. It's like a dark telling, zombie tale of Romeo and Juliet with, her, like the reagent that they use through the Return of the Living Dead films and brings these, the dead people back to life. She ends up dying, and her lover, her boyfriend, wants to bring her back to life because, love knows no bounds and he wants his love back. So, yeah, and she ends up becoming a zombie. And yeah, the only thing that kind of stops her from being hungry is pain, and that's how you kind of end up with this design of her. And yeah, the VESTRON slip covers are amazing. Like these slips, I love these slip covers right there. And there's the back part right there. And this is a Brian Usna film. Yes, Brian Usna. And there's your box right there. And we'll open the disc. And this one competes for my favorite Brian Usna film for sure, because I love Society. Society is a great film, but this is one of my favorite zombie films of all time. So these two are always highly competing for which one's my favorite in terms of Brian Usna. If I'm feeling more of a zombie mood, I'm definitely going to pick this film as my favorite of his. But Society is also a fantastic film as well, body horror. So it just kind of depends on what mood I'm in, but this is one of the best zombie films out there. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. And this is, in fact, my favorite Return of the Living Dead film, just because of the love story. And this, I love the dark love stories. Like when they're able to do romantic love stories but do it in such a graphic, gruesome way, I'm always down for that. Next up, we have a David Cronenberg, and this is one of the very early films in his career, and this is Shivers. And this is one of my favorites because it's a very simple film, and it's very just low budget, very minimal, like kind of character development, but it's kind of a moment in time as you just watch this kind of secluded area where these people live in this hotel condominium, but they have their own kind of island. They're off the island away from the mainland. They have their own doctors, their own shopping malls and stuff like that, and a dentist and everything, and like I said, an area to live in and stuff. But parasites end up taking over, and these are the kind of parasites that take you down to the basic instincts of what humans do. So like you just want to be hungry or have sex or, be very aggressive and attack people. Like that's what it kind of does. It strips away all that, mentality of having morals and being what's right, what's wrong. All that's gone when you get infected with these parasites. And the body horror in this film, I love it because it's just very simple. But David Cronenberg, he's an expert at body horror. You know what I mean? He really knows what he's doing and stuff like that. So yeah, he's one of the best, and this is one of my favorite films of his. And I know this one isn't like highly talked about. A lot of people like Videodrome more and Scanners and a lot of his other films. I love The Fly, but for me it's David Cronenberg's The Fly and Shivers are the ones that usually compete for my favorite of his. And you got to be really into graphic body horror and like sexual type content, because that's what David Cronenberg is really known for. All those themes are very highly prominent in all of his films. Next up, we have a Mark L. Lester film, Class of 1999, and this is just a fantastic film. And man, for real, this is actually a sequel to, it takes place in the same universe as Class of 1984, done by the same director. And this is kind of like, imagine if Terminator and Mad Max, those two films, they met, they had a baby. That's what this film would be. That's how I would describe this film to people who have never seen it. And man, it's just such a freaking fun ride for real. Pam Grier's even in this film too, and Stacy Keach. So there's a fantastic cast, and even Greg, let's see who else is in here. Bradley Gregg is in here as well. We got, like I said, Stacy Keach, Pamela Greer, Joshua Miller. There's just a fantastic cast in here. And if you're into, blaxploitation or horror movies, you're going to recognize just about every cast member in this entire film. And like I said, Terminator meets Mad Max. Like, what's not to love about that? Like, that just sounds fucking awesome. So yeah, Class of 1999 is one of my favorites, and I like the tagline too. The ultimate teaching machine, out of control. Like, that's just one of those epic time like taglines from the 90s or the 80s. You know what I mean? For movies, they just had some of the best back then. And yeah, this film is such a fantastic ride. I do prefer this one more to Class of 1984, even though that one has just as an amazing cast. It's a very gripping film and very hard to watch, that first film. I think that's probably why I enjoy this one more, is because I do love that first one, but this film I find more enjoyment in watching it, and it's more rewatchable and just freaking a bombastic ride. And the special effects in here still hold up because they're all freaking practical. So like when you do practical effects, even you did them in 1990, 1985, 1979, it's still going to hold up now over special effects that you do with CGI back then, or like computer graphics or overlays. It's not going to age well. So yeah, that's why this is a great film. So yes, I hope you guys enjoyed hanging out with me as I talked these 3 awesome titles that I picked up from VESTRON. I highly suggest watching all these films. I believe all of them. I believe this one's on Tubi. You can check this out on Tubi for free. This is on, I believe, Tubi and probably Shudder. You can probably find this one on Shudder. And Return of the Living Dead, I'm not too positive where you can find this one. This one you're going to have to search out. This might be on like Stars or HBO Max or something like that. I'll have to look that up. If I find out what streaming service is on, I'll put that on the screen for sure. So thanks for sticking around with me all for this awesome physical media pickup video. And in the comments, let me know what you think of these films, or are there any pickups that you've gotten recently for 4Ks, Blu-rays, or Steelbooks? I would love to hear from all of you. And if you got some videos, let me know, so I'll go check them out and everything. But most importantly, I want y'all to have a safe and happy day. Peace out.